The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.
Hi everyone, it's Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer. It is Friday the 2nd of June 2023, another bank holiday weekend, and I'm here with you for the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 234. It is a podcast that talks about everything Bundoran. A little bit later on, going to be joined by Marc Geagan, who is a local musician and historian, and he is also the organiser of the brand new Guitar Festival, which is happening in January of next year. So he'll be telling us a little bit more about that. And Teresa O'Neill here with us as usual in our community corner from Bundoran Community Centre. Big week for us this week in that we launched our brand new Discover Bundoran brochure. It's available now for you at discoverbundoran.com/downloads, where you can look at it there as a flip book, or indeed you can download a PDF copy for yourself to read at your leisure. And of course it's also available as a hard copy, and it is being delivered as we speak to various locations right across the county and across the region as well. So you can get that right now and see all of the wonderful things that are happening in Bundoran over the coming weeks, coming months, and indeed up into the rest of the year as well. Let's start off, as always, as we do, with our entertainment guide. And in the Allingham tonight, it is music with John Malloy. He's there from 8 o'clock with dancing from 8:30 till 10:30. Sinead McLaughlin then in the Coolmore Bar. The Contractor in the Coolmore Bar tomorrow night, and Robert Mazzell in the Ballroom. Kieran Mackery then on Bank Holiday Sunday, and that is from 5 until 7. And then he's back then from 8 until 10 o'clock in the Coolmore Bar. Moving next door then to the Bird's Nest, and Ger Long is there tonight. Tomorrow night, Vincey Walmsley, and Sunday night it is music with Adrian Ryan. Gary Doherty tonight at the Chase and Bull. Fabulous Franks there tomorrow night. George's Bar, there's live music across the weekend. Don't forget the usual trad session each and every Sunday afternoon, and that is from 4 o'clock, and everybody is welcome to join in on that one. And don't forget as well, this Sunday from 12 to 5 they have a pop-up vinyl, cassette and CD fair. So if you're into looking for some old vinyl or some old cassettes or CDs, then that is the place for you to go this Sunday from 12 until 5 o'clock. That is at the Kick and Donkey. Phoenix, it's Punchin' Seagulls tonight, followed by the Rogie Cowboys. Mike Lister tomorrow night, followed by Mad Notions, and Francie Smith on Bank Holiday Sunday, followed by Hard to Beat. And don't forget there's a late bar there tonight, tomorrow night and on Sunday. The Modal Citizen Quartet, that's a mixture of jazz, funk and blues with Carl Bertham, Chad Murphy, Jamie Carswell and Marc Geagan. That is tonight at 9:30pm in Madden's Bridge Bar. Gypsy Rovers playing tomorrow night at the Railway Bar on Main Street. Kevin Cassidy tonight at the 51 Main Street. Jimmy Gallagher there tomorrow night, and Jerry McGinley there on Sunday night. Paris open as usual on Saturday night, and the Celtic Marine has live music on Saturday night as well. If you would prefer to go to the cinema, well, wait for me. The Boogeyman and Transformers Rise of the Beast. Transformers is there from next Thursday. It's brand new, and the other two you can see them this weekend. And Missed It Monday is Air. That is from 8:30 on Monday evening. And the autism friendly screening of Super Mario Brothers will take place tomorrow afternoon, and that is at 12:15. You can check the full schedule on our website or indeed at eclipsecinemas.com. Of course, it is the big weekend in Ballyshannon, and what a weekend of weather it is going to be, as well as a weekend of music for the Rory Gallagher International Tribute Festival happening right across the weekend. Lots of music on the street and different trails and stuff, and of course then the big top with all those brilliant international acts, and they will be performing all this weekend. So Ballyshannon is certainly going to be a hot spot to be this coming weekend. Handmade in Bundoran and Beyond Craft and Food Market is on. That is on tomorrow in the Bundoran Community Centre. And a look ahead to next week, and in the Great Northern Hotel, it's the Celtic Country Music Awards. That's next Thursday night at the Great Northern, and tickets are still available for that. That is our entertainment guide. Still to come, we are going to be chatting to Marc Geagan about his new Donegal Bay Guitar Festival coming up in January, and also we will be talking to Teresa O'Neill in Bundoran Community Centre.
The Bundoran Weekly.
I'm Shane Smyth, Bundoran Tourism Officer. It is the Bundoran Weekly Podcast, episode 234. A brand new festival coming our way in January of 2024. It seems like so long away, but it's probably just around the corner at the same time. Marc Geagan is the man who's spearheading that, and I sat down with him to chat about that and about the various music gigs that he's involved in creating across the town over the coming months as well. We sat down and chatted during the week. Mark, we decided to catch up because it's you're a busy buckle at the moment with a lot of music, a lot of what do they say, irons in the pot. You've got a big festival, a new festival starting off next year, which we'll come to. But you're also organising the music every Friday night in Madden's Bridge Bar, and you're kind of it's trad, it's different types of music every week.
Yeah, that's correct. So every Friday, I suppose it's starting to settle now. So we'd have jazz on, say, the first Friday of every month, then trad session, and then another jazz session, then another trad session in the bridge. We've got some really good players there. We got some Richard Nelson Quartet, and the Modal Citizen Quartet handling the jazz, and then we've got the O'Briens and Mick McGrath and Mehel doing the trad as well. So it's a nice mix, nice bunch, and a great venue.
It's good to get it established, kind of out of season, to get everything into order, and then
exactly. I mean, it does take a while for the music to kind of settle, and for the body of tunes to work themselves out. Sure. and get the regular flow of players, and
I guess if these players aren't playing together all the time,
no, not at all. I mean, on like, for example, this Friday night now, none of us have played together before. Okay. You know what I mean? So we have the sheet music. Yeah. See what happens. Yeah. Probably empty the place. And
Declan is a great supporter of
absolutely.
Of music well.
He's great. I mean, and his dad before him as well. They kept the traditional flame flying. For years, even when it wasn't hip. There was always tunes in Bundoran. They kept that cultural flame flickering. And now it's spread out to George's now. I think there was 60 trad musicians in George's.
Wow.
Yeah, for Seamus's 80th. And then the Phil Rooney Cultus thing. They're winning flags all around. Yeah. So the next generation are coming up. They are amazing. And they come in and play with us on the bridge, So I do believe we are witnessing a kind of a bit of a renaissance of trad in the South Donegal area. Do you know what I mean? And That's going to have brilliant ramifications going forward for years, and we've also managed to kind of nurture a kind of an embryonic jazz scene as well, with the Rogie Jazz Club with Dermot, another brilliant patron of the arts, and then Declan down in the bridge, when we run the jazz nights down there as well. Another thing, we're blessed because we got 2 graduates of New Park. It's New Park Jazz College it's like the Berkeley of Ireland. Okay. Do you know what I mean? You do not get past there unless you're on the money. Yeah. And we've Jenny Hallahan living down here and Chad Murphy, and they're both graduates. So the jazz game has gone up. Mm-hmm. I would urge people to come out to some of those jazz gigs because they're just absolutely brilliant. And it's all improvised and great fun to play.
And the people are liking it, people are coming specifically for it.
They are, but again, let me tell you an old jazz joke. What's the difference between a rock guitarist and a jazz guitarist? Well, a rock guitarist plays 3 chords in front of thousands of people. You know what I mean? Jazz concerts are just, it's like, I think jazz actually
an acquired taste.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's 1% of what is streamed on Spotify. You know what I mean? It's
but still nice background.
Oh, totally. You know what I mean?
And not to diminish what they do as background, but
no. But it's for us, it's brilliant music to play because you're making lines up as you go along, and you'll never play that ever again the same way. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's your job to kind of go from A to B and make all these statements. So it's very rewarding for us and frustrating, especially for me. I mean, the lads, their back is broken carrying me, but you're going to have that.
You're also gearing up for the Ballyshannon Folk and Traditional Music Festival.
Totally, yes. Looking forward to that.
That's a favourite one of yours.
Yeah, big time. Great to see what is reputedly one of the oldest folk festivals in Europe, and to be a part of that and kind of help keep that going as well is great. And the fact that they let a Bundoran man have any sort of say is I get my visa stamped. But
you'll have a number of gigs that weekend.
Yeah, what I'll be doing is kind of organising the trad trail around the town
brilliant.
and stuff like that. You know what I mean, and making sure that we've got good sessions in every pub and stuff like that. So there's we got things in play for that.
Ballyshannon really kind of lends itself to that kind of trail, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It does, of course. Yeah, up the hill, down the hill.
Yeah.
And, some nice venues there. Dicey's in particular, and what do you call it? The Bridge End as well. They're good patrons of the arts. And O'Donnell's. And there's plenty of music. Yeah, I mean, I found this poem from the 14th century, and they were talking about a harp in the monastery. I can't remember the name of the harp, but back then every harp had a particular name, the same way as we name ships now.
Okay.
And I think it was called the Sweet Stringed Shade Bin, and it belonged to a particular harp player. So we know that we have a music tradition in South Donegal going back at least 900 years. You know what I mean? And it is a continuation, like the harp, and then like fast forward to the Hawk of Ballyshannon, 1640, and this beautiful music. And if you keep digging, you find these things, these beautiful nuggets.
And there is that tradition in Ballyshannon as well, isn't there?
There is, and it's coming back.
Yeah.
It really is. Like Bundoran was always a different mixed bag because we're a tourist town.
Yeah.
So we've got pop, we got rock, we got chucky music.
Yeah.
We got banging techno, all of that. We got something for everyone in Bundoran, and it's great. Long may it last. And the country, of course, which is probably the biggest thing. But in Ballyshannon, it was always more, trad orientated, and it's great.
So not content with sitting on your laurels and just playing, you're also organising, and you've got a brand new festival, and it's in January of 2024. But always, it's, as people might think, oh, it's January, it's cold, it's horrible, but always a great time for a festival, and you've got one coming up.
Totally, you know what I mean? Fireside sessions. So it's the Donegal Bay Guitar Festival, happening January 12th to the 14th. Various venues around the town. The master classes and the workshops will take place here in the Bundoran Community Centre. Then we've got concerts. The big news is we've got Steve Cooney headlining. We've got Mike, on trad and world guitar. We've got John Feely, internationally renowned classical guitarist. We've got Mike Nielsen, who's just one of the top jazz guitar players in Europe, arguably. And our very own Johnny Galler,
of course,
the guitar god that he is, and that's like I think I've got about 20 tutors now. I mean, we'll have gypsy jazz, we'll have blues bass, we'll have introduction to traditional Irish music, advanced classes and all of that. So we'll have workshops, concerts in the evening, free gigs around the town at night, with different themed bars,
Great.
Blues bar, jazz bar, and folk and traditional jam sessions, all of that.
And who will the workshops be for?
The workshops are for the participants, you know what I mean? So so say you have the master classes, right? So there might be 6 places with John Feely. Mm-hmm. So that would be for the very advanced thing. So then say the intermediate players will have workshops with very high profile musicians, you know what I mean? Some people coming down from New Park and stuff like that. And then we'll have some classes for beginners as well.
So talk to me about tickets and details and lineup, etc.
Yeah, all of the information will soon be on modalcitizenrecords.com, and tickets will be available through Eventbrite. And you'll be able to buy a weekend pass, or you can buy like a solo, for a particular workshop, or it's a dip in, dip out kind of thing. But the aim is to try and get people to come to the town. And, I think it's, if you have a New Year's resolution, you want to learn guitar, you come down and with the best guitarists on this island, you know.
What sort of convincing did you have to do? I can't imagine you had to do much convincing to get the participants to take part.
I sent them a text. I didn't even mention how much money or how little, and they just said yes, each of them. And it's just been growing from there. And then I sent you a text, and then sent John a text, and then put out the poster. And I've been kind of inundated with a tidal wave of
Brilliant.
really proficient musicians wanting to come in and play. And yeah, it's marvellous.
So that's the Donegal Bay Guitar Festival happening January 12th to 14th.
January 12th to 14th.
Always good to be planning ahead. Mark, best of luck with it, and no doubt we'll have you on before that anyway to have a chat more about
Thanks
it.
very much, Shane. Cheers.
The Bundoran Weekly.
Mark, thank you. We'll put a link to the Model Citizens website in the show notes for the podcast. Let us move now to Bundoran Community Centre, and there for us is Teresa.
Thanks, Shane. With the June bank holiday on Monday the 5th, the centre will be closed and will reopen on Tuesday the 6th. Chat in a Cuppa's next date is Wednesday the 7th of June at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. We will have a session of chair yoga with Catherine McGath. This will last 1 hour, and then everyone will enjoy a chat and a cuppa at the end. The Bundoran Knitting Group will finish up for the summer on the last Wednesday of June. In the meantime, why not join them to chat and knit? They meet every Wednesday at 7:30 in the community centre. Have you signed up for the Bundoran Bay Swim? If not, check out www.bundoranbayswim.com for all your information about the swim and the day. We will have a family fun day down at the Book Quay, Saturday the 29th of July. This is a fundraiser for the Bundoran Community Centre. We have Bible reflection in the Rogie Suite on June the 11th, 18th and the 9th of July. This is free and is at 10:30 a.m. 40 minutes that includes music, prayer and cuppa and inspiring thoughts. Handmade in Bundoran and beyond will be here on Saturday the 3rd and Sunday the 4th of June for their next handmade craft market, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. This group brings together all local crafters who make and sell everything by hand. They will also have a market on the 17th and 18th of June for the big Sea Sessions weekend. If you would like to sign up for our newsletter, you can call into the centre or you can go to our website on www.bundorancommunitycentre.com.
Teresa, thank you. And that is going to do it for the Bundoran Weekly podcast. Taking a little bit of a break for a little while. We'll be back soon with the Bundoran Weekly podcast. Thank you, as usual, for your messages, and thank you for your support and kind words about the podcast as well. It is really appreciated. If you are in Bundoran for the bank holiday weekend, do have a good one and have a safe one, and we'll talk to you real soon. Good luck.
The Bundoran Weekly is a production of Discover Bundoran.
The Bundoran Weekly is brought to you by AIB, supporting local businesses in Bundoran. For more, see aib.ie.